Hey everyone, Warwick's here. So we're continuing Christmas month. This one, I think this is maybe the fastest I've gotten to a reaction video in terms of when the video released to when I start recording for this. So this is the Bass Gang's Christmas song for the year. They did a cover of Blue Christmas, most famously done by Elvis. While I'm not too familiar with Elvis's version of the song, you kind of know what to expect when you hear the name Elvis and it's attached to a song. Like he pretty much had, maybe two to three styles of music that he did. He had his hips gyrating music, You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog type musics. And then he had his ballads where he actually showed off like the fact that he could really sing. And Blue Christmas kind of falls into the latter category. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I appreciate you very much for joining me. For those of you that are veterans of the channel, hello, it's good to see you again. Just a quick overview about myself. My name is Corey. I'm not a professional musician. I'm just a guy who really loves music and started doing these types of videos in June of 2022 and just have fun with them. And I was a high school band kid. I was in drumline, so vocal percussion, and I was always been attracted to bass. Like if there was an instrument that I would learn in marching band, it was always going to be like, trombone and be the low trombone player or a tuba, but the tuba was as big as me in high school, so probably ultimately not a good idea. But I've always been attracted to like low notes, which is a group why a group like the Bass Gang really appeals to my musical senses. So the structure of this video, for those of you that have never seen one of these from me before, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through and watch the whole thing. You're going to get my unfettered reaction. This is the first time that I'm seeing this video very clearly because it was only released an hour ago as of recording. And you're just going to get to see my reaction. I'm not going to pause it. I'm not going to do anything. We're just going to watch the video, enjoy it for what it is, and you're going to get to see this dumb mug on the bottom left of your screen react to it. If you have not seen this video before and don't want me in the way of your viewing experience, I'll link to the original below, though I'm going to strongly suggest that you subscribe to the Bass Gang because every video that they put out, they don't miss. Everything that they've put out since they started their YouTube channel with Emperor's New Clothes, which I reviewed. I think I've reviewed almost everything that they put out, actually. So I have a playlist of all my acapella reaction videos, or most all of them. I probably need to go back and make sure I have all of them in there. But you can check my playlist and you see I'll have a bunch of stuff from the Bass Gang. They were actually the first group that I covered when I started doing these videos. But go watch the original, and then you can come back to this video and go from there. For those of you that are only here for the reaction, that's going to be probably the next, your video duration is probably only going to be around 8 to 9 minutes. But those of you that really like to get down and really break down these videos and nerd out about them and see like what kind of details I pick up and things like that, and then we talk about it more in the comments below, we're going to be a much longer video. It's going to be whatever duration of this video itself. So try to appeal to both kinds of audiences here. We'll see what we do. So enough of me rambling. We've gone 3 minutes, which is probably 2.5 minutes too long. Let's get into the Bass Gang's cover of Blue Christmas, and let's talk about it afterwards. So here, let me make sure I got this up a little bit. That way we can go. All right, let's go.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue, just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree. Ooh, won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue Christmas. I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
All right. Let's see. Make sure it's not. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. That was fun. It's probably, I don't know if it's not the most famous Christmas song because Mariah Carey exists in this world, but I think Blue Christmas is probably one of the songs that, most people don't go to quickly when they think of Christmas songs, but it's one of those songs that just kind of works and has transcended the eras all the time because its lyrics are very much on point for those of you that are trying to find your romance love at Christmas, which not me, the newly single dude doing this video. But that was fun. I really enjoyed that. I think kind of surprised by the arrangement. Let's go down into the credits. We're going to do this. We do this. We started doing this in all these videos. Bobby did the arrangement on this. Johnny Stewart did the mixing. Bobby did the mastering. Casper, kind of the, as Peter has called him, the manager of the bass gang, did the guitar in the background. Bobby's sister Nicole Waters did the video editing on this, and then Pie Makes Art did the cover photo, which is this thing right here with the bass gang, the bass treble clef on the blue ornament on the background of the Christmas tree. Really, really like that artwork. It very much fits this thing. So yeah, shout outs to those that helped out on the side with this video. As usual, I think overall the entire project is quite good. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. Christmas music is not like my big thing. I don't generally enjoy a ton of Christmas music, but I like almost everything that I've listened to, like between voice play and the two Jeff videos that I've done, and now the bass gang. And I'm gonna try to do a Pentatonics release on Christmas Day. So I know Pentatonics has been recommended. Someone, I think in my comments meant, or I don't know if it was in my comments or in the comments of a video that I watched from Voice Play during Halloween that said what Pentatonics is to Christmas, Voice Play is to Halloween. So I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna find Pentatonics Christmas music, and I'm dedicating a full month in January to Pentatonics. So if you have a favorite Pentatonic song that you want me to cover, hit me with those in the comments, because I don't know much about their catalog. So, anyways, we're getting off on a tangent. Overall, the bass gang, very good job. Really enjoyed this, and we'll go from there. For those of you that are just here for the reaction, like I said, it's going to be about an 8 to 9 minute video for you. We're at 8 minutes and 20 seconds, plus the 10 seconds that I did for the intro. So 8.5 minutes for you. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoy yourself. Have a safe holiday. See you next time. For those of you that are here to, want to nerd out with me about this video, let's get to it. All right, so first things first, I want to just stop right here where they go. Number one, Marwin, I would wear that sweater probably outside of Christmas time in cooler weather, just because I really like that one. My favorite one though is Bobby's with the alien and the light up and the lights on it and stuff. So, but all four of these guys nailed the Christmas sweater look and feel here. I also really appreciate that obviously like Tommy and Bobby very much in front of their Christmas trees, like very much into the spirit. Marwan, the little Christmas tree, though I imagine he's probably not a big celebrator himself. I don't know, but I kind of like his wallpaper that he has back there, and I really like that photo that he has on, or that, yeah, that wall art that he has there with the train and the church and stuff. That's cool. And then there's Peter, who has like a Santa hat and is covering up the Christmas fire. But he has the bass gang, of course, gotta rep the bass gang. And then, of course, his wall art is also an interesting one. I don't know who this is off of looks, so comment below if you know who that is on the wall. I just find it funny that, like, all these guys look like they went, like, these three look like they went through a ton of effort, and Peter looks like he just set up a hat and turned something on his TV just so that he could look like he was in Christmas. That said, Nicole, I love the fact that you added the Christmas lights and stuff like this to kind of separate the four cameras. Really like that. And I also appreciate generally that the bass gang is doing something that's not against green screens and that they are just shooting inside their living arrangements, whether it's their, full houses or apartments, whatever the case may be. It's a nice little bit of a different look for these guys because they usually are doing stuff in front of a green screen and they're doing like the full professional background editing and stuff like that. So just like the visualness of this video, it's very different from what they've done in the past, and I just really appreciate it, especially considering they're in 3 different countries, and with Bobby and Peter being US based, Tommy out of the Czech Republic, and Marwan in Egypt. So just like to kind of get a background and kind of see what all they look like, what all their homes kind of look like. So they're kind of inviting us in, which I really like. Really like, I think that's Bobby on the bass line here, that doom, 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 kind of that right there. Really like that. And we're getting, at least to my ears, Marwin is the most forward in terms of the ooze to start off. So just really nice arrangement there. You know, but I really just enjoy the very simple bass line that Bobby's doing here and just how clean it is. All in his chest voice, where it sounds like a legit bass guitar, which, yeah, that's kind of the goal, but it, to me, it stands out more so than what they've done in their other covers. And then he hits those two notes during the Blue Christmas by the Bass Gang. If you know what those notes are, please tell me. Real quick before we get into the first thing, I like this with the ornament look here. I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it because I'm an idiot. But right here, I really like this look here with Bobby, and kind of moving on. It's a little touch to me that I really enjoy with the ornament look there.
Have a blue Christmas without you.
Really enjoy, as you can tell very clearly, it's Tommy with the kind of high falsetto, except way up because I'm not even going to attempt that. Really enjoy that. And then credit to Bobby. I know in the Iris video that he did with Mortius, he really talked about how he's been really working on his high range. And this is another example to me where his higher voice is starting to become very like clear, and the consistency in it is really getting well. So his work is paying off. So shout outs Bobby for I can tell from something like Centuries where you could tell he was working on it, and but it, like, there was a level of consistency that wasn't there. And something like this with just, you know, between Centuries and Iris, and now moving into the last couple ones, like he did some stuff in Bones that was really cool, some stuff in Hide and Seek that was very cool, and now here he gets to show off kind of his higher voice, a little bit of his higher voice here, and just the level of consistency that I've been hearing out of it, and like the progress as someone that has really followed these guys ever since I discovered them. I've been like ardent listeners of their videos. Like, I just want to shout out Bobby because you could tell the work that he's putting in, as someone that kind of understands everything that's going on. Like, for someone that is like an somewhat amateur slash maybe early intermediate level of understanding singing techniques, it just sounds like the difference is just very stark and very clear. So I just wanted to give Bobby his props.
I'll be so blue, just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree.
Ooh, I really like what they did in the backgrounds with, you know, they started high and then they kind of stepped down and then they stepped back up, and then they left that sort of chord progression unresolved so that we get the Blue Christmas Tree from Marwin. Really nice way to kind of play with the background expectations a little bit, kind of leave something unresolved, but still satisfies the ear, so to speak, because now you get to fully focus on Marwin. This is a technique that they pulled out a few times where they basically cut everything in the background off and let one line go forward before they advance into the next set. A couple of creators I know really love this technique. I think it's neat when used really well. It's not call and response for me, but I like the fact that they do it, and they always do it in a way that is very tactful.
Christmas tree.
Really like that, you know, where they all in the hit, and they kind of did ultimately resolve it. They just all dropped an octave to do it, which is very cool.
Won't be the same day.
And then here, this is when I was like, oh, is Marwin gonna do the thing? We're gonna find out real quick.
Here, if you're not here with me.
See right there with me, I expected him maybe to drop into the basement, but he did the Jeff Castellucci special where he teases you with it. And then, you know, later on in the video, you get rewarded for kind of waiting to hear some notes in the basement. But you know who does reward us almost immediately? Tommy. What the hell does he do on this entrance line? Listen to it.
Here if you're not here with me, and when those blue.
When those blue, like, Jesus. And like you don't expect it because you're maybe thinking, okay, he's gonna start and when those blue, like kind of in that mid range, and he just is like, oh, Marwin didn't drop in the basement. Well, guess what? I'm already here, and I'm gonna climb out and stun you with it, which is exactly what he did when I heard it. Like one more time, and then we'll move forward.
Here with me, and when those blue. So snowflakes start falling. That's when those blue.
Yeah. So Tommy's the one that's just like, what? Oh, this is a bass singer's cover. Let me show you what we can do. Challenge accepted. And just does this whole line in like this beautiful chest voice, and oh, gave me chills. I get chills just talking about it, man. Like, can't really tell because my camera isn't good enough to translate them, but I've got goosebumps right now just talking about this depth. And when I first heard it, it was ridiculous. Love the video editing here again. Kind of consistency. I'm gonna tap back here real quick. So let's watch Big Marwin here, as I call it, because of course you can't see Peter with my fat head in the way. Let me switch to this real quick. Yeah, you can see Peter right there. Yeah, this is the one I used for my WoW gameplay, but right here. Actually, right here. So right here, Marwin's looking off into the distance talking about the green Christmas tree, and then we come back here, and he's still looking off into the distance. I don't think this was intentional, but for me, as a nerd that likes to point out the details in video editing, I like this consistency. In fact, I like the fact that both Marwin and Peter are kind of looking off wistfully, thinking about what could be. You know, while Tommy's doing the bass line and, of course, one of his own background ooze. Bobby's kind of hitting it too here, where he's kind of looking off at what could be. And then Tommy follows at the end of the clip. So they all do this thing where in the side in the ornament looking circles where they kind of are looking off into the distance, kind of thinking about what could be. When you listen to the song, of course, it's talking about longing for someone, you know, that Christmas isn't going to be as special because I don't have, you know, someone to love. I won't say a loved one because that's family, but like someone to love close by with them, to share Christmas with. And so the fact that these guys are all kind of looking off in the distance, imagining what could be, I think is a really nice visual touch to a song that kind of demands it in some ways. I also appreciate that all of them are snapping out of it at the end. I love that. I don't know why. I just love it.
You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white.
Really like that, actually, where they, you know, you expect White to be dragged out because that's kind of what has been happening with this, and he just goes, White? And everything stops, and then they drop back in. I know if you're a fan of Mortius, he's going to see that, and he's going to have himself a little freakout session because he loves that technique. He loves when it's done well in songs, so be ready for that if you go watch Mortius. Again, I think it's done really tactfully, and I think it's done in a way that does enough contrast that it kind of almost catches you off guard if you're not prepared for it, but does it in a way that's very pleasing auditorily.
Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
I also giggle at the fact that Peter's wearing a blue sweater and singing Blue Christmas. But I think that's just because I'm dumb and think about stuff like that. So, really love that kind of the way that it went, where at the beginning of this section, I'm going to go right here. You kind of listen. Peter's up in the high register, and the background seems to be like harmonizing around him. But then listen what they do after they do White. Listen to what happens in the background.
With your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
So what they do, it's very subtle, but of the 6 background voices in the first half of this little solo section, most of the harmony is above Peter. You're hearing a lot of tenor, and Peter's kind of in a low tenor, high baritone, I think, range. But then after White Dumbs, the bass and the low baritone and the background is much more pronounced. And even Peter kind of drops a little bit as well. You still have your upper harmonies, Tommy, really nailing those. But I really like just that they did basically they what I imagine happened is they did this and then they just flipped it essentially in terms of what the main line was doing versus the harmonies. Now the harmonies are building from the ground up versus the top down. At least that's what my sense of it is. I just really like that arrangement. I think that's very smart by Bobby. And then here's where you're like waiting for the full bass chords, waiting for the full bass section, and now they're rewarding you with it. And this is probably my favorite part of the song, of course, because these guys are all excellent bass singers. But they're the harmonies around the lead bass lines, like the bass is the most forward, but there's harmonies going on in the background that just make it sound very, very rich, and I love it so much. Let's go back real quick and listen to just the intro line, and you'll be able to hear it.
Christmas, I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be
Also, Peter doing the very deep bass. It's kind of hard to hear in the wall of sound, but if you really pay attention to it or you're listening to it on good headphones, you can really hear it. I don't know what notes it is, but it blends well, but it also is like it's kind of deep. And yeah, we'll check and see if like RTS does the low notes because he usually does in the bass gang stuff. We'll check for that real quick to see if notes are out there. But if you know what the notes of the bass line are, I'd love to hear them in the comments because again, I'm not great at note identification. I'm not that skilled. But those of you that are, I'd love to know.
so blue, just thinking about you. You'll be due.
Yeah, another show off of Bobby's high range, which I absolutely adore. Also, I love the editing with the spotlight on Bobby here in the middle. I just think it's a cool editing touch. Well done, Nicole.
Going all right with your Christmas of white.
I think Peter got into the falsetto there and not Tommy, which is cool. I like that switch up.
But I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
And of course, they hit you with the thing that you probably have been waiting for the entire time, the nice, thick, fat bass chord that they're well known for doing in all of their covers because they're all basses. They hit you with it right at the end. Reward your patience for Marwin's tease earlier. You got a little bit of it with Tommy, but you get to hear the rest of them do these kind of nice, thick bass chords around each other, and a fantastic way to end the song. And I love the blue, blue, blue Christmas at the end, where of course she changes all their individual camera screens to blue. Again, just a fun editing touch. Well done, Bass King. I applause to you guys. I think this is a fantastic rendition. I think Elvis would be very impressed by it. Just really, really cool stuff going on. I'm sure there's a lot that I missed that I just wasn't there. Like I heard the guitar from Casper, so Casper shout outs. I like the guitar that you're doing. You know, it wasn't like Through the Fire and the Flames level complex, but it it was perfect for what the song was. Same with a little bit of vocal percussion. I don't know if they used. It sounded like they used real drum samples, which is fine. They've done that before with Mad World, so I don't have a problem with it. Like it doesn't offend me, but I just really love it overall. Like I really appreciate this, Bobby. I actually just noticed Bobby's chalkboard right here. Merry Christmas, Bass Gang. Appreciate that. Got a couple of gifts set up here. Marwin with his palm. I like it. So, thank you, Bass Gang members, for giving us a peek into your actual homes in a a song that you're covering. I think that's a really nice touch from you guys that adds to this song. You know, Christmas is a time of family, joy, things like that, as most people see it. If you've gone to my Instagram, you know that it's a little bit different for me this year. But um, but overall, like they kind of hit this idea. So the fact that they shot this, you know, no backgrounds or anything like that, and let us kind of into their, yes, it was basically just one section of their homes, but it was still into their homes. I just appreciate you guys for doing that, and thank you overall for doing this. Let's quickly check the comments. Let's see if there's anyone. Yeah, help out with the guitar. Such a dope arrangement and video. Yeah, I agree, Casper. Peter, the bassiest version of Blue Christmas ever recorded. I agree. I think Elvis would really like it if he was able around to hear it. Although those of you that are conspiracy theorists and think that he's just sitting at home and probably watched this already, let's face it, if Elvis were still alive, he'd be like 100 years old. Let's just be real. When was he born? Yeah, in fact, let's look. Elvis. When was he born? 1935. So he'd be 90. 35 plus 55. That would take him to 2000. So he'd be 55 at 2000 plus another. So he'd be 77. He would have been 77 today, which ironically is the year he died. Cool. Yep. So yeah, Elvis would probably watch this if he were alive. But yeah, love it. Oh, here we go. Low note list. Right off the start, B1 from Bobby. Couple of B1s. G sharp 1 to E sharp 1 subharmonics. That's what I was looking for on that. Couple of A1s, and then that B1. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. That chest fry. I thought it was maybe an inhale, but it was chest fry, and then they end on B1. So a lot of A1 B1 type stuff here. Yeah, shout out to RTS Base. Thank you for always going through and picking out these low note lists. I love it personally. But yeah, I think this was a fantastic video, and shout outs to the Bass Gang for making it. I appreciate it greatly. So yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around if you watched it till this far. Like I said, we'll try to do a Pentatonics cover on Christmas Day, and then let's see, let me look at the calendar. And that'll be the end of Christmas month. New Year's Day, I will try to maybe do an actual pentatonic song. That's again why I'm asking for some suggestions, because I don't know their catalog at all. It can be from the Avi Kaplan days or post Avi Kaplan days. I just need to know what your favorites are so that I can go in and get some song suggestions, because like I said, I know of pentatonics. My dad is a big fan, but I don't know their catalog at all. So give me your best pentatonic songs in the comments below. In the meantime, end of the video, guys. I hope you all have a safe and happy holiday. Whether you're celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever it is that you celebrate, just be safe, be happy, be merry, and I will see you all in the next video.